Breaking confirmation, $2,000 tariff rebate is now official breaking news tonight, and this is information every senior needs to hear clearly and calmly. The White House has now officially confirmed that President Trump has approved the long-discussed $2,000 tariff rebate checks, and this confirmation changes far more than most headlines are admitting. What matters is not just that the payment exists, but who is now being prioritized and why this decision happened so suddenly. For days, many Americans heard rumors online about possible $2,000 payments. Social media, finance channels, and community groups were filled with speculation. But tonight, the confirmation finally arrived through official channels. The tariff rebate program is real, it is active, and it is moving forward under Treasury authority. This is no longer theory or political messaging. This is an operational financial program. What makes this announcement especially important for seniors is a quiet but critical update that occurred behind the scenes. Alongside the approval of the rebate checks, Treasury issued an internal notification restructuring eligibility priorities. And for the first time, low-income seniors have been formally elevated into a new priority category. If you rely on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, this change directly affects your position in the payment process. Until now, seniors were mentioned broadly but not clearly prioritized. That has changed tonight. This update represents a turning point in how tariff revenue is being redistributed, and it signals a major shift in who moves to the front of the line. This is only the beginning. In the next part, we will break down why seniors were moved into priority status and what economic data forced this change to happen now. Why low-income seniors were moved to the front of the line. To understand why this update matters so much, we need to look at what changed behind closed doors. The sudden elevation of low-income seniors did not happen by accident, and it was not driven by politics or public pressure. It was driven by data, very specific economic data that landed on the president's desk over the past 2 weeks. According to multiple internal briefings, recent economic reports showed a sharp increase in financial stress among older Americans. Seniors living on fixed incomes were identified as one of the hardest hit groups by inflation. While wages for working households can rise over time, Social Security benefits do not automatically keep pace with the real cost of living increases many seniors are facing right now. One report in particular became a turning point. It showed a noticeable rise in senior poverty among individuals receiving less than approximately $1,300 per month from Social Security. These seniors were spending a higher percentage of their income on essentials like food, rent, utilities, and medication. Even small price increases were having an outsized impact on their financial stability. This data forced a reassessment of the tariff rebate program's original design. Early versions of the program focused mainly on middle-income households and workers affected by rising import costs. Seniors were acknowledged, but they were not placed in a priority lane. That approach no longer made sense once the data made the situation clear. Advisors reportedly made a simple argument to the president: if tariff revenue is being returned to Americans, then those with the least purchasing power should not be last in line. That principle is what triggered the fast-track review and led directly to tonight's update. In the next part, we'll explain how the Treasury redesigned the eligibility system and why seniors now score higher than many working households. How the Treasury rebuilt the eligibility system. Once the economic data made the situation clear, the next step was structural. Treasury did not simply add seniors to a list. Instead, officials rebuilt the eligibility framework from the ground up. What they created was not a political checklist, but a scoring-based system designed to measure financial vulnerability. This new system evaluates several key factors. Income level is one, but it is no longer the only driver. Treasury now looks at dependency on federal benefits, overall purchasing power, and how stable or unstable a household's monthly income really is. These changes significantly alter who rises to the top. Under this model, seniors who rely primarily on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI score much higher than many working households. The reason is simple: their income is fixed. When prices rise, their checks do not adjust fast enough to compensate. That makes them far more exposed to inflation than households with fluctuating or wage-based income. Another critical factor introduced in the update is what Treasury calls the benefit stability factor. This measures how predictable a household's income is and how limited its ability is to absorb higher costs. Seniors score at the highest level in this category because their benefits remain largely unchanged month to month, even as expenses increase. This scoring overhaul explains why seniors were not just included but elevated. The system itself now recognizes that financial vulnerability is not only about income size, but about income flexibility. And by that measure, many seniors face the greatest risk. In the next part, we'll break down the new three-tier payment structure and show exactly where seniors now fall within it. The new three-tier payment structure, explained with the new scoring system in place, Treasury reorganized the entire tariff rebate program into a three-tier payment structure. This change is critical because it determines not only who qualifies, but who gets reviewed and paid first. And this is where seniors see the biggest shift. Tier 1 is now the highest priority group. Originally, this tier was designed mainly for middle-income workers earning roughly between $30,000 and $75,000 per year. But under the revised scoring model, a new category has been added directly into Tier 1. Low-income seniors living on fixed benefits. If your annual income is under approximately $30,000, or if your monthly Social Security check falls below the national median, your priority score increases significantly. That means many seniors who were once expected to wait are now grouped with the earliest recipients. Tier 2 includes a broad range of working households and individuals with moderate incomes. These recipients still qualify for the rebate, but their review timeline may now come after Tier 1 is processed. This shift explains why some working families may experience delays compared to what was originally projected. Tier 3 is reserved for higher income households or cases requiring additional verification. These are individuals whose records may need manual review by the IRS. Notably, seniors relying primarily on Social Security, SSI, or SSDI are generally not placed in Tier 3 unless their income level exceeds certain thresholds. The message here is clear. Seniors are no longer positioned at the back of the line. The new structure places many of them at the very front, fundamentally changing how and when payments move through the system. In the next part, we'll examine why seniors can be verified faster than most other groups and how that affects payment timing. Why seniors move through verification faster. One of the most overlooked advantages seniors have in this updated program is verification speed. While many working households must go through multiple review steps, seniors often move through the system much faster. This is not preferential treatment. It is a function of how federal data systems already work. Most seniors already have complete income histories on file with both the Social Security Administration and the Internal Revenue Service. Their benefits are documented, predictable, and continuously monitored. Because of this, Treasury does not need to request employment records, wage updates, or additional income documentation for many senior households. The updated Treasury memo quietly introduced what it calls a rapid verification route. This route applies specifically to individuals whose primary income comes from Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. In simple terms, if your income is already fully documented within federal benefit systems, the review process can happen automatically. This change dramatically reduces delays. In past programs, individuals with low or zero taxable income often faced processing slowdowns. Under the new structure, Treasury uses SSA data to bypass those bottlenecks. That means seniors who filed zero income tax returns in recent years are no longer penalized by the system. Another important point is that most seniors do not need to apply for the rebate. Eligibility is determined internally using existing records. Only cases with outdated or missing information may receive a request for verification. In the next part, we'll explain how this faster verification feeds directly into earlier payment timing for seniors compared to other groups. How the new priority system affects payment timing. With seniors now placed into higher priority tiers and moving through verification faster, the next logical question is timing. When will payments actually move, and how does this new structure change the expected schedule? While exact dates are still being finalized, the updated framework gives us clear signals about what comes first. Under the revised system, Tier 1 is processed before all other groups. Because many low-income seniors now fall into this tier, their eligibility reviews are expected to be completed earlier than originally projected. Treasury officials are sequencing approvals based on final verification rather than income alone. This means something very important. Some seniors may see their approval status update before millions of working households even enter the review queue. That is a significant shift from earlier expectations, when seniors were assumed to be later recipients. Tier 2 recipients, which include many working families, are still eligible for the full rebate amount. However, Their processing timeline may be adjusted as Tier 1 is cleared. This is why some online estimates about payment dates appear inconsistent. The system is actively rebalancing. Another key detail is that seniors' direct deposit information is already linked to federal benefit systems. That reduces delays once approval is granted. Checks or deposits can be issued more quickly because payment pathways are already established. In the next part, we'll discuss the specific income thresholds that determine whether seniors land in Tier 1 or Tier 2 and what those numbers mean in real terms. The income thresholds that matter most for seniors. At this point, many seniors are asking the same question: where do I fall in this system? The updated Treasury framework introduces specific income thresholds that determine whether a senior lands in Tier 1 or Tier 2. These numbers matter because they directly influence how early your payment is reviewed and approved. Based on the internal scoring model, seniors with an annual income below approximately $30,000 receive a significant priority boost. This includes individuals whose only income comes from Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or survivor's benefits. If your total income falls under this level, you are far more likely to be placed in Tier 1. Monthly benefit amounts also play a role. Seniors receiving less than the national median Social Security payment score higher under the system. Treasury uses this benchmark to identify households most exposed to inflation pressure. Fixed income at or below this level signals limited flexibility when costs rise. Another important threshold involves SSI and SSDI recipients. Individuals receiving these benefits are automatically flagged for expedited review. Treasury recognizes that these programs already represent financial vulnerability and that recipients typically have little or no supplemental income. It's also important to understand what does not disqualify you. Filing a zero income tax return does not reduce your chances. Under the updated system, SSA data is used to confirm eligibility, even when tax filings show little or no taxable income. In the next part, we'll reveal the unexpected group of seniors added at the last minute and why this change may move the lowest income seniors even faster through the system. The last-minute senior group nobody expected. Just hours before the official confirmation was released, Treasury quietly added one more group into the highest priority lane. This group was not mentioned in early drafts, it was not discussed in public statements, and it did not appear in the initial rumors. Yet its inclusion may have the biggest impact of all. This newly added group consists of fixed-income seniors receiving less than approximately $1,100 per month. According to internal Treasury analysis, these individuals represent the most financially vulnerable segment of the senior population. Even small increases in food, housing, or medical costs can significantly affect their quality of life. New inflation data flagged this group as facing the highest risk. When that data reached senior economic advisors and the White House, the decision was made quickly. Treasury moved these seniors into the same high-priority category as other low-income seniors without delay. What this means in practical terms is simple. Seniors living at the very bottom of the income scale may now see their approvals processed faster than originally planned and potentially faster than many other qualifying households. This change also reinforces an important point. The updated rebate program is no longer focused solely on who paid the most in tariffs, but on who feels the impact of higher prices the most. And for this group, the impact is immediate and severe. In the next part, we'll explain why this rebate does not affect your Social Security benefits and why seniors can receive the payment without risking reductions elsewhere. Why this $2,000 payment will not affect your benefits. One of the biggest concerns seniors have whenever a new payment is announced is simple and understandable. Will this money reduce my Social Security? Will it affect my SSI or SSDI? The updated Treasury guidance answers this question very clearly, and the answer is no. The $2,000 tariff rebate is not classified as income for benefit purposes. It is treated as a rebate funded by tariff revenue, not wages, not earned income, and not recurring support. Because of this classification, it does not count against eligibility limits for Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. Treasury officials were explicit on this point. The purpose of the rebate is to relieve financial pressure, not to replace or reduce existing benefits. Seniors will continue to receive their full monthly checks, unchanged, even after the rebate is issued. This distinction matters because many seniors live close to eligibility thresholds. In past programs, uncertainty caused fear that accepting one form of help might jeopardize another. The updated structure avoids that problem entirely. It is also important to note that the rebate does not affect Medicare premiums, SNAP eligibility, or housing assistance calculations. It is a one-time relief payment designed to offset rising costs, especially for households with fixed incomes. In the next part, we'll explain why Congress does not need to pass a new bill and how Treasury already has the authority to move these payments forward. Why Congress does not need to approve this payment. Another question many seniors are asking right now is whether Congress can delay or block this rebate. Given how often benefit programs depend on new legislation, this concern is understandable. But in this case, the structure of the tariff rebate program is very different. The $2,000 tariff rebate does not require Congress to pass a new bill. This program is authorized under existing tariff collection laws. The funds come directly from revenue generated by tariffs on imported goods, not from new federal spending packages. Because of that, Treasury already has the authority to distribute these payments once eligibility rules are finalized. Political debates may continue, but they do not stop the administrative process that is already underway. This distinction is critical for seniors who worry about delays caused by gridlock in Washington. Treasury officials have emphasized that the rebate operates independently from stimulus legislation. There is no need for additional votes, no waiting on budget resolutions, and no dependency on partisan negotiations. The framework is already in motion. This is why tonight's confirmation matters so much. It signals that the program has moved beyond discussion and into execution. Seniors' eligibility is based on income data and benefit records, not on future political outcomes. In the next part, we'll focus on what seniors should do right now to avoid delays and make sure their payment arrives without problems. What seniors should do right now. With eligibility rules finalized and processing underway, the most important question becomes practical. What should seniors do right now to avoid delays and protect their place in the priority system? The good news is that most seniors do not need to take major action, but there are a few critical steps that should not be ignored. First, make sure your Social Security Administration records are up to date. Your mailing address, direct deposit information, and contact details should all be current. If Treasury or SSA needs to confirm your information and cannot reach you, it could slow down your payment. Second, check your IRS records, especially if you moved recently or changed banking information. While most seniors will not need to file anything new, outdated records can still create verification issues. Third, monitor your SSA and IRS online portals over the next few weeks. You may see alerts requesting identity confirmation, address verification, or payment preference updates. These notices are part of the normal processing flow. Responding promptly keeps your case in the fast-track lane. It's also important to be cautious. Scammers often target seniors when new payments are announced. Remember, no legitimate agency will ask for personal information through phone calls, text messages, or emails. Always use official SSA or IRS websites. In the next part, we'll look at the expected timeline ahead and what seniors may see as the program moves from review into payment distribution. What the next few weeks may look like. As the tariff rebate program moves forward, many seniors are wondering what happens next and what they should realistically expect in the coming weeks. While Treasury has not released exact payment dates yet, the updated structure provides a clear outline of how the process will unfold. The first phase involves finalizing eligibility verification. Treasury and the IRS will complete internal checks using existing SSA and tax records. For seniors in the highest priority tier, this step is expected to move quickly because most information is already on file and does not require manual review. Once verification is complete, the next phase is status updates. Seniors may begin to see changes in their IRS or SSA portals indicating that their eligibility has been confirmed or that their payment is pending. These updates may appear quietly, without a major public announcement. After that comes payment scheduling. Treasury typically releases payments in waves, starting with the highest priority groups. Because low-income seniors are now placed in that top tier, many may see movement earlier than working households with more complex income records. It's important to understand that processing does not happen all at once. Payments roll out in batches. Some seniors may receive confirmation sooner than others, even within the same income category. This does not mean there is a problem. It reflects how federal systems distribute payments at scale. In the next part, we'll address why some seniors may still see delays and what issues could temporarily slow the process, even for those in priority groups. Why some seniors may still experience delays, even with priority status and faster verification. It is important to be realistic. Some seniors may still experience delays, and understanding why can prevent unnecessary worry. These delays are usually administrative, not eligibility related. One common issue is outdated or mismatched records. If your SSA and IRS information does not align exactly, the system may flag your account for manual review. This can include differences in name spelling, address changes, or banking updates that were not fully processed. Another potential cause is missing direct deposit information. Seniors who receive paper checks or who recently changed bank accounts may require additional confirmation before payment is released. While this does not disqualify you, it can slow the timeline. Identity verification is another factor. In some cases, Treasury or the IRS may request confirmation to protect against fraud. These requests are routine and are designed to safeguard your payment, not to create obstacles. Responding promptly keeps your case moving forward. It's also worth noting that system volume plays a role. Millions of payments are being processed, and even priority groups move through in batches. A short delay does not mean a denial. In the next part, we'll explain how to spot legitimate updates versus scams and how seniors can protect themselves during this period. How to avoid scams as payments move forward. Whenever a new payment program is announced, scams follow. Unfortunately, seniors are often the primary targets. As the $2,000 tariff rebate moves closer to distribution, it is essential to understand how to separate legitimate updates from fraudulent attempts. First, remember this clearly. No government agency will call, text, or email you asking for personal information related to this rebate. The Treasury, IRS, and Social Security Administration already have your records. They do not need your Social Security number, bank details, or login credentials by phone or message. Second, be cautious of messages claiming urgency. Scammers often use phrases like final notice, payment suspended, or immediate action required. Legitimate agencies communicate through official mail or secure online portals, not through pressure tactics. Third, only check your status through official websites such as ssa.gov or irs.gov. Do not click on links sent by unknown sources, even if they appear professional or reference the rebate program. If you are unsure about a message, do nothing until you verify it independently. Taking a pause protects your benefits and your finances. Reporting suspicious activity also helps protect other seniors. In the final part, we'll bring everything together and explain why this update matters long-term and what it signals for future senior-focused relief programs. Why this update marks a turning point for seniors as we step back and look at the full picture. Tonight's update represents more than just a $2,000 payment. It marks a structural shift in how financial relief is designed and delivered, especially for older Americans living on fixed incomes. For years, many seniors felt overlooked as prices climbed and budgets tightened. Inflation moved quickly, while benefits moved slowly. This update acknowledges that reality in a concrete way. By redesigning the eligibility system and placing low-income seniors into the highest priority tiers, Treasury has sent a clear signal. Financial vulnerability now matters as much as income level. This program also sets an important precedent. It shows that federal agencies can use existing data like Social Security and SSI records to move relief quickly and efficiently to those who need it most. Seniors were not added as an afterthought. They were elevated because the data proved they were among the hardest hit. For many older Americans, this payment will not solve every problem, but it can help cover groceries, utilities, medications, or unexpected expenses that have become harder to manage. More importantly, it restores a sense of recognition. Seniors are being seen, counted, and prioritized. As more updates are released, staying informed will remain essential. Payment windows, confirmation notices, and distribution details will continue to evolve. But one thing is now clear: seniors are no longer at the back of the line. Thank you for taking the time to stay informed. If this breakdown was helpful, stay connected for future updates. Clear information leads to better decisions, and better decisions lead to greater financial security.